Hello friends, I am back to do the life history of herd mania part 2 after the first lecture, which was herd mania part 1. So let's begin with this lecture. Now in the previous lecture I had started with doing the structure of test, and there were 5 main things composing the test. The first was the matrix, which is the general base of the test, and in this matrix are embedded 4 things: the cells, which I had done in the previous lecture, the fibrils, this also is done, then come the blood vessels or vascular tubes. Now as you can see in this blood vessel and vascular tubes is the 4th thing embedded in the matrix, 3rd thing embedded in the matrix, and spicules is the 5th thing which is embedded in the matrix. So there are 4 important things which are embedded in the matrix, and when we cut the TS of the test we can see all these structures. So here is the diagram of TS of test. Now these dotted parts, they are all representing the matrix of the test. These tube-like structures are the blood vessels, or you can call them vascular tubes. And these vascular tubes, when we've cut the TS of the test, this is the surface of the test and this is towards the body. The surface of the test, as you see, have many vascular ampullae. These rounded knob-like structures, they are the vascular ampullae. And as the name suggests, the vascular ampullae, these are structures which help in respiration. And the blood vessels, you know what is their function? They carry the blood to the whole of the body, and in this case to the test. The blood vessels, they well distribute the blood into the whole of the test. And these are the spicules, which I will be doing after the blood vessels or vascular tubes. So the blood vessels and the vascular tubes, they are forming an anastomosing system in the test. These numerous branches near the surface form oval or pear-shaped terminal knobs or ampullae responsible for red patches visible on the surface of the test. The ampullae serve as accessory respiratory as well as receptor organs, being connected to nerve cells. So these ampullae have 2 important functions. They are respiratory and they are also tactile in function. They act as receptor organs because they are situated very near the surface of the test. So this finishes the 3rd material embedded in the test, the blood vessels or vascular tubes. Now we come to the 4th material, which is the spicules. And these spicules are very important structures in herd mania as they have numerous functions to tend to. Now here you can see there are, you can see these spicules, and there are 3 types. In 3 types you can see 2 names over here. One is microscleres and the other is megascleres. Micro, as the name suggests, micro means small. These are small spicules, and mega, as the name suggests, are big spicules. You can also compare between the size of both. These are big spicules and these are small spicules. So there are mainly 2 types of spicules. Spicules are divided into microscleres and megascleres. Now let's start from megascleres. Megascleres, you can see these 2 types of structures and they are different in shape. One is pipette shape and the other is spindle shaped. And for the detailed structure, let's come to this figure. Here you can see the pipette shaped spicule. It is labeled over here. This is a pipette shaped spicule, and it is the largest, as you can see. You can see the size from microscleras. The size is increasing slowly. The size it is seen increasing in these spicules, and the largest is the pipette shaped. And the spindle shaped spicules, they are of many sizes. They can be big, a little small, and more smaller, but they are always bigger than the microscleras. In the pipette shaped spicule, you can see there is a knob like structure like we have in a pipette, and there are two branches going on both the sides, upper side and the lower side. Spindle shaped spicules, they don't have a knob like, it is missing the knob like structure. The center a large structure is not there, and they are spindle shaped, like they are a little broad in the center and they keep converging towards the edges. And same way these are the structures. And the microscleras, you can see they are just like an awl pin which has a knob at the tip, and the pointed end is directing downwards. So this was a general explanation of the types of spicules, which are microscleras and megascleras. Okay. Now, before I do the detailed structure, I will tell you the constitution, how the spicules are constructed, the construction of spicules. Before that, let me once more discuss one more thing: the size of the spicules. Now, these megascleras, they are large spicules as compared to others, and the biggest is pipette shaped, and this biggest spicule in Herdmania, it measures about 3.5 millimeter in length. And the spindle shaped spicules, they vary from 1.5 to 2.5 millimeters, and the microscleras, they are just 40 to 80 micron. You must be knowing what a micron is. It is 10 raised to power minus 3 meters. And they are 40 to 80 micron in length. Now let's come to its construction. Right. As you can see, let's discuss the construction in this spicule. It is a microsclera. The spicules, they are formed of saucer shaped rings. These 1 ring, 2 ring, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are plate like structures which are stacked one above the other. This is one plate, the other plate stacked on it, the third one stacked on second one, fourth one stacked on third one, and this way. If we stack a number of saucers, it will form a column-like structure, and this is the column-like structure. Only that our saucers which we keep one above the other are very large, and it will form a broad pillar. But these saucers, they are very minute in size, and so they are forming, no doubt, a pillar, but of a very narrow diameter. And above, in these microscleras, on the top is mounted a knob-like structure. The edge of the saucers, they are lined with spine-like structures, these hair-like structures, and they are forming rings. The number of plates of which the spicule is formed will be equal to the number of spicule rings in that spicule. So this is the structure of the construction of a spicule, and shape and size I've already discussed. Now there's one more thing, the number of plates of which these spicules are formed. So the microscleras, they are just formed of 5 to 20 rings. In this one there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rings, and in this one there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings only. So they are formed, in these spicules the number of plates will be, they can be at least 5 or they can be 20 also. And the number of rings in the megascleras, they are from 20 to 60. Again, if you count the number of rings, they will be 20 to 60. And obviously then in the pipette shaped, there will be more than 60, or you can say they start from 60 to somewhere 100 plates. So this is the detailed structure of spicules. I have told you 3 things which is marking the difference between micro and megascleras. The first thing is that the shape of microscleras and megascleras. There is only one type of shape in microscleras, which has a knob-like structure on the top and a small tail beneath that knob. And in megascleras, the shape is of 2 types, pipette shaped and spindle shaped. These are all the spindle shaped. Labeling is also given underneath. So there are of 2 shapes. So this is one thing. Then the second thing is the size, and the third thing is the number of rings of which they are formed. So you have to remember these 3 points to discuss the detailed structure of spicules. Next we come to the function of the test. Here I have mentioned all the functions, and let's take them one by one. Now you must be confused what this diagram is. It is just looking like the vascular tubules in the previous diagram on the previous slide. And now what is this? In that slide we were looking at the TS of test, which was showing the edge of the test. Now this diagram we are observing from the surface. Like if we take a Herdmania and we just observe its test from the surface, and suppose it's transparent, the test is transparent, the matrix is not having many residue materials embedded in it, and it is transparent. So if it is transparent, then we will see the structure like this. These are the ampullae or the knobs, terminal knobs. Terminal because they are situated at the edge, so they are known as the terminal knobs. They are knob-like structure, so become the terminal knob, or in the previous slide I had told you they are also known as ampullae. And below it there is the anastomosing structure of the vascular tubules. The anastomosing structure means it's starting here, then joining this branch over here, then joining this branch over here. So they are all anastomosing with each other. So this is that diagram showing you the test, and it is the surface section of the test. So it is showing all the knobs on the surface, and below the knobs are the anastomosing vascular tubules. Now let's come to its function. The first function, it forms a protective covering on the body, and it is a loose covering, but it is attached to the mantle at some places, and those it remains firm due to those attachments. Number 2 function, it provides definite shape to the animals. It is a covering, and it will not let the inside of the body outgrow itself. So in that way it is providing definite shape to the animals. Then third point, it forms the foot which helps the animal in adhering to the substratum. Now if you remember the structure, I told you the body above is a hollow structure which is having all the mainly the digestive organs and the reproductive organs inside it. Means if we see the upper part of the body, there is the outer covering test, which is enclosing the one more layer mental, and inside the mental is the alimentary tract. So this was the body above the substratum, but in the substratum there is a little part of animal which is embedding inside the substratum, and this part, it is only constituted of the test. There may be two layers of the test because it's a cylindrical structure, and in this test are embedded the foreign materials, the residues and all. They get embedded in the test, and this test, it is inserted into the substratum so the animal can stay upright. So it forms the foot, the test. It forms the foot. Foot is completely formed of test and nothing else. Number 4. With the help of ampullae. This diagram, you must be wondering why this diagram is given. Now it comes here. These are the ampullae. With the help of the ampullae and receptor cells, I told you they are tactile, so they are having receptor cells. The test performs the tactile function. Okay. Number 5. With the help of ampullae, it also performs respiration. So this was the function of. Now here is the structure of spicules. This I have already done, and as you can see, they are of two types, microscleric and megascleric. And megascleric spicules, they are of two shapes, spindle shaped and pipette shaped. The spelling is wrong. By mistake it has become pit. It is pipette shaped spicules. Now here in this diagram, TS of test, again the relation of the animal and the relation of the things embedded in the test is shown, because the structure of spicules we are doing. So first we should know where the spicules are situated. So in this diagram you can see the whole animal, the above body and the foot below, and the body has atrial and branchial aperture, and these are the test vessels which we have discussed before. Vascular tubules we have discussed in the previous 2 slides. Then this is the test vessel, and these are foreign matter embedded in the foot, embedded in the test, ultimately forming the foot. So you can see how the spicules are present in the matrix of the test. And lastly, we come to the function of spicules. The spicules, they form skeletal tissue. They are hard structures. If we hold the Herdmania tightly in our hand, we will feel the poking of the spicules in our hand. So they are quite hard structures. Second, they keep the test firmly attached with the mental. They act like alpins, attaching both the layers, the test and the mental inside. Third, provide stiffness to the walls of the vessels. They provide stiffness. They are also present in the walls of the vessels, and wherever they present, the vessels otherwise are very flexible, and if they don't have these hard structures in their walls, they will collapse. They will stick together, and the lumen will not remain. They will become flat structures. So these spicules, they help in maintaining the shape of the vessels. And fourth and the most important is that these spicules, they ward off the predators. Predators, they like to feed on the smaller animals, and Herdmania is very soft also and can be eaten very easily, but the spicules in its body, they prevent the predators to they cannot eat the animal due to the spicules. So here we finished the function of spicules, and this way we have finished the whole test, which is composed of matrix and the 4 things embedded in it. So thank you, and I will continue the lecture with, and the next lecture which I'll come with will be Life History of Radmania 3. So you wait for the lecture, and thank you once again.